Enjoy 27 miles of beachfront paradise on the upper Texas coast Bolivar Peninsula. Call BolivarEscapes.com. Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Well, I hope everyone had a great Christmas. I know I did. In fact, I'm gone right now. What do they call that? I'm transforming. But anyway, we're coming into New Year's Day, a day and a half, 2 days away. And I told Dan, I want to talk about 2025 because
Great.
You've made some hints over the last couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, when we've been talking that there's some changes coming. Hopefully it's for the better.
Yeah, there are stuff, and I'll specifically talk about maybe a little bit about the industry and about our agency and what's happening. You know, as a consumer or as an owner of an agency, it has been a very difficult 3 or 4 years in the insurance business. As a consumer, you've seen your rates just, it's really been something that's been difficult, and there's been a lot of factors. It's been sort of like the movie The Perfect Storm that have affected that. The good news is that I'm believing I'm seeing some changes that are happening. I can tell you that I have one of our auto carriers is having an actual rate reduction in January.
Do they know what that is?
It's a pretty significant one. It's 10%. That's a lot.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a big reduction. So as they made those changes, there's this thing called the reinsurance market. But as they made those changes and tried to become, because they weren't being profitable for a while, they've kind of made that turn, and that's good. So I see, if nothing else, some stability coming. Now that doesn't mean you're not going to see a 2 or 3% rate increase.
It's funny you say that. Use the word stability.
Yeah.
Because we had the Christmas market a month ago, and I was we brought back the Bolivar Christmas market, and I hadn't seen some of the vendors in a while, and I asked them. I said, "How's the market? Your show's been?" They said, "Man, it's been tough." And 2 of them said, "But as soon as the election was over, it changed a little bit. Attitudes changed. We saw some spending changing." And I was talking to someone else about what they thought the market was going to do. And he said, "David, it doesn't matter who won. For a year, we were unstable. There was no stability in who's going to run the country. And I think you're going to see a big change because now everyone knows whether it's your favorite or you're not. At least everyone knows there's some stability there. We've got the president. He's been elected. Whether it's your favorite or not, it's still stable because we know what's going to happen." And so I don't know if that has any, but when you said stability, I've seen some other things change. People feel more comfortable spending money knowing where they're going.
I do think that there are some changes in the sentiment in the country, and I think part of it may be tied to some of the conversations I was having earlier about maybe a change in profitability, but that's a whole different conversation. Some of the other things that I think we're seeing is changes in choices. So personally, we are a farmers agency. We have some businesses outside farmers that doesn't really work in that. But what we're seeing and what we're going to be doing starting now is, let's talk about auto insurance. Okay, so before we only had 3 or 4 little different options, but now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different companies that we can place people with, people that know them. We have Travelers, we have Safeco, we have Farmers, we have Bristol, we have Progressive, we have National General, to start with. And same thing on the home side. So in this era and things that have changed in this difficult period of insurance, so what is coming from that is actually a better choices for consumers. And to go with you and kind of leading down that path, maybe we're opening up the markets and more windows,
markets,
and that will be beneficial to both the client and the business owner.
Right.
And that's really where a good economy works. And I think that is coming personally. We have some different things that are hitting aboard. We have some For example, we saw a CD-like rate at 4.5% for 3 years, which is great, unheard of. It's tax deferred, and after 3 years you get your money back. It's a really good thing that's going on right now.
Because y'all do some investment stuff too, don't you?
Yeah, that's a different conversation.
That's
but
a
yes,
different conversation. But so on the up and up, despite the storms we had this year, you think over the next year or so we're going to see some changes?
Yeah, I think and there's different markets. There's the auto market, which is a casualty market. There is the fire market, or your homeowners. That is a market. But then when you get down on the coast, you're breaking it down. Well, you have the fire market, fire, theft, liability. Then you have the windstorm market, which is, we've talked about that in the past, and how some of those reserves have been depleted, and they didn't have a rate increase, but they had a building cost increase.
Right.
What's in store that locally, and then you have all the things that have happened with FEMA, and what's happening there, and the changes that are coming politically in that organization, which I think is actually going to be a good thing. But there have been some losses there that have got to be addressed. And there just hadn't been any rate change on those policies in a while, except part of the glide path rate, which is the people that went from, say, a preferred risk rate, where their rate might have been $400, and now they're at $900. There's an automatic increase that every year.
I probably learned more about insurance a month ago when I was having to renew all my business insurance, and you were explaining everything to me. I probably learned more in that 2 hours you were in my office helping me figure out what I needed to do than what I've learned in the last 6 or 8 years. So, well, it's always change. A lot of people don't like change, but change is good. Sometimes it's not the direction you want, sometimes it is, but it's still change, and I'm sort of looking forward. In fact, everyone I've talked to from the business aspect is sort of has their sights set high for 2025.
As a business owner, it has been a rough 3 or 4 years. And as a business owner, or as running a family, right? You just modify and you make changes and adapt. But this is a year that, both from a client standpoint and an agency owner standpoint in the insurance world, I'm looking at taking some steps forward. And that's a good thing. May not see it to the end of the year, right? That rate decrease is coming in January, so that's a good thing. But it's a good time to look around. Call us. Let us see what we can do for you.
And we talk about that just about on every show. Even if you have your insurance company that you deal with, but you have questions or you want to get a second opinion, and second opinions are a good thing to have. I got second opinions when I was doing my business insurance, and actually it saved me money because I was getting more coverage on something that you brought up than what I was getting from a bid from someone else. And so I learned something, and it helped me. And so ask questions. I've always said the stupid question is a question not asked.
So any agent, whether it's me or someone else, when they review, you need to be really open with people.
Right.
And so anyone worth their salt, if we want to be able to see it, but if you're doing better somewhere else, then we're going to tell you you're doing better somewhere else. And then we're going to help you where we can. And sometimes we may not be able to help you at all. Sometimes we may be able to help you on everything.
And I will vouch for that because you told me that.
I did.
You said, David, I can help you on this, but
you're in good shape on some stuff.
You're in good shape on some stuff. And that really impacted. He doesn't know it because I hadn't said anything, but for someone to say, hey, you're good where you're at, you've got the right coverage, you've got, the pricing's right, but I can help you on this, is more or less what you said.
That's what we did.
And he said, we'll just work a little bit each year. And so that really shows something for a business when they'll tell you, hey, you're doing good, or they'll also tell you, well, you can change this a little bit and maybe save you some money or have more coverage. So, 2025 is almost here. Fireworks will be going off on the beachfront. Dogs will be barking. everyone's
Bells will be ringing. That's next. That was Christmas.
New Year's Day, they're usually Christmas trees are coming down, and got gumbo or etouffee or something cooking, and before you know it, we'll be sprinting into the summertime. I got the event cards for all of 2025 events out and stuff now, so we're good to go. So we're gonna head on out. Hope y'all have a safe New Year's Eve, and remember, if you're out having a good time, make sure you have a designated driver, or call someone to pick you up. That's something I'm big on. So Dan, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye.